Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to talk about the importance of taking action.
Let's get to it. Alright guys, so as you can see, Jacob B is back for another video. You guys really seem to love it when he's in the videos, and we're chilling here. It's a pretty cool day in June actually. It's like around 60 degrees, which is surprising. So we're chilling inside right now, and we're going to talk about why you need to start taking action and why consistency is so key in every aspect of our life. So to start us off, why don't you tell us one of the situations where you had to stay consistent and it ended up maybe not paying off so well, and why it didn't?
Okay, so the example that I want to talk about is like approaching women and girls. Like most guys, pretty much all the guys in general, they're afraid to like go up to a woman and ask them out, right? That's like one good example of taking action right there. Like the thing is, they end up not doing it because they overthink about what can possibly go wrong and all. And basically the idea is you shouldn't think of what can go wrong. You should think of what can go right, you know? Like what if things work out? She says yes, and you escalate things from there, you know? It's about having a positive mindset.
Honestly, that was worded beautifully, but what I always say is that, like, there's only a certain amount that you can fall from a situation. Like, you can only lose the amount of effort that you put in. But the amount you can get out of a situation in terms of like a positive outcome is limitless, right? It's just like when you're buying like some sort of stock. You could only lose the amount you put in.
Exactly.
But you can make theoretically an infinite amount, right?
Yeah, like when you're taking action, it's about like taking risks. You know, there can be like a couple consequences, you know, if stuff does end up going wrong. But on the other hand, like if it all works out, you're gonna end up finding it worth it and worthwhile.
Right, and the thing is, right, when you take action, you shouldn't be trying to elicit a reaction out of someone else, right? You should just be taking action for the sake of taking action, and you should feel good just simply taking action.
Exactly. So like I've tried asking out girls before, right? Now I can tell you, you're gonna fail a bunch of times. At least in my case, I did. All right, but that doesn't mean you should stop, okay? And you shouldn't feel demotivated at all by any means. All right, it just means like you keep practicing, and eventually you'll get better at it. You know, the more you take that kind of action.
So what's one skill that you have right now that you maybe had to take a lot of action to get, and like was hard for you to stay persistent at?
Trying to public speak, like literally what I'm doing right now, talking in front of you guys, like trying to build up the courage to do something like this. You know, I couldn't do stuff like this just a year ago, honestly.
Right, and now like we could address the camera directly, we can speak our minds, and our ability to express our thoughts and emotions is much greater than they were back in the past. Why? It's not because we're subhuman or something. It's just because we've been doing it for so long that we know that, like, okay, first of all, it's a video, right? Mm-hmm. So if we do end up messing up, we could just cut it out. And obviously, making like a pre-recorded video is not that risky.
Not at all.
No.
You can try as much as you want, right?
But I'm working on like starting to maybe do some lives, and lives are a bit more risky, right?
Oh, for sure, because like you know, you can't redo or try again. You're on the spot completely.
Once you say something out in the open, it's out there. There's no like cutting it out.
It's the same thing as just talking in front of an audience, you know, except through the camera, as opposed to having it in person.
And I don't know about you, but for me, I mean, you haven't recorded that many videos, but for me, I noticed that my ability to public speak in person to other people and like be a leader is so much grander than it was before I started YouTube. And like, I only know that in hindsight, looking back. I didn't know in the moment that if I made a certain amount of videos, it would help like my ability to speak to people in real life. But that is like an unintended outcome of me putting myself out there and taking action. I think that making this channel was one of the biggest examples of taking action that I have in my life, because I mean, like I've told you guys a million times, I've been criticized so much, like more than you guys would think, right? Like,
oh yeah,
people
for sure.
literally say that like your videos suck. And
he
stuff.
has literal haters.
Yeah, I
Not
literally
anymore.
have haters in my corner, which is obviously we're cutting that out right now. No more haters 2022, it's a new start. But obviously people are gonna hate. The thing about hate is that if you're receiving a lot of hate, you know that you're doing something right, right?
Well, yeah,
Think about it.
like
If you're being polarizing out there and doing something that people hate, you're probably doing something right.
I mean, like generally haters are people who are jealous, you know?
Right. If someone's feeling such a strong emotion, they could probably feel the emotion in the other way. If you say something to a bunch of people and no one reacts, that is actually a bad sign. Because that means that you're just not conveying your points well. But if you are consistently getting people doubting you, dude, that's even more reason to stockpile that and use that as ammunition to go and achieve your goals,
You
right?
can use it as fuel to keep going. Listen, the thing about taking action is you want to do it, especially the younger you are, okay? Now, take me for an example. I'm an incoming junior in high school, okay? And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't live your life to the fullest as a high schooler, like get out and put yourself out there and just have as much fun as possible, then you're going to end up regretting not doing that later on in your life. Don't you agree?
That's exactly right. Like, when I think back on my high school experience, I think about how much of an AI I was and how much I didn't put myself out there. So seeing Jacob and knowing that he's probably in a similar situation as me, I gave him the blueprints to lead a better life, right? And he actually took action.
Listen, if you do certain stuff that you may end up sort of regretting, you'll just live and learn, and you'll learn better from that, not to do it again.
But don't you notice that most of the stuff you regret is based on you not doing something?
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Like, if you don't take any action and
Then
you
that's
stay more
what you
reserved.
regret, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, if you take action like consistently, then taking action is just gonna be what you do.
Becomes second nature at that point.
Like making these videos every day, I don't have to like persuade myself to do it or like build up that constant discipline. I can just do it because it's part of my routine. That's literally how you guys can make any of your habits, right?
Yes,
Let's
exactly.
talk about like what are your current habits that were probably hard in the beginning. What's like one example?
Working
Track.
out's the biggest example.
Yeah.
And track, sure, but
So
I'd say working out.
what
you know?
what was your brain's reaction to you wanting to do track in the beginning? Like what was your overall feeling about it?
Like, I had no idea how capable I would be of competing in races and all.
And you ended up doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, I'm so glad that I've become a part of the track community.
I saw this kid run the track. He's really freaking fast. And he never would have known that unless he took action, right? And that's literally how it is for every situation. You won't know how you would actually react in the situation unless you do it, right?
Yeah, just keep in mind, guys, like, the only competition is yourself. All you want to do is improve on yourself every day. No one else. Just you.
And with that being said, guys, I think we're going to end it off here. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys for watching. The blooper reel is coming out now. Hopefully we were able to pull it off. This might be a new addition to the videos, but today was a lot of bloopers. We're kind of in a goofy mood. It's the weekend. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you also.
Yeah, see you guys. I have an idea. Let's just roll the camera.
It's rolling.
Oh shit, it's rolling?
I mean, we're obviously going to cut this.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
Will we cut it though?
to do it or like bait myself with a freaking carrot. You know, like what?
Hit yourself with a carrot.
I mean, I just saw this kid run the whole field. He's speedy like Gonzalez.
So you like Gonzalez? Yeah.